So this video is going to be about this camera slider and how I'm going to make it work for me. So this head from here up is a separate piece. It is attached to this, and I plan on leaving it attached to this. But this lower section here is a Neewer. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Neewer. This is a camera slider, and this is for taking pan or sliding shots with my video camera to try to make the videos more entertaining, right? This is a low profile and a low clearance one, but it has a double action. So there's a plate on the bottom and there's two separate tracks, and this has twice the distance of travel as it is wide. So you can see it goes all the way that way and goes all the way that way. The problem I'm having, if you were to imagine my hand as a tripod, when you put a camera on here, in my case, I have a Canon 6TS. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And it's heavy, and then I have a microphone on top of that, and then this is heavy itself. When you slide this all the way over and the camera's sitting over there, the weight of it throws the tripod off. And I have a pretty heavy-duty tripod. So what I realized was that I needed to make some sort of base that allowed me to use the full travel of the slider. Now, if it's just sitting on a flat surface like this table, it has adjustable feet to get it so that it's stable. However, you only get the travel of the width of the slider itself because the lower track, which you can see there, moves back and forth. And I would like the entire travel of the slider as it's designed. So I attempted to make a base for this slider. And to be honest, it would probably work. It's sort of a hodgepodge here. It's green because it was a color of spray paint I had, and then I sanded some of that out to get rid of some of the wows and whatnots, and I was going to paint it black. But I realized, as I'm sure many of you have, halfway through something, that you could do it differently and it would be better. Now this was just a piece of 2x4, and I plan on using a piece of 2x4 to make what I'm really going to use. I realized that I needed, you can see I routed out for little feet, and this should have sat down and been stable. And on my flat table it is, but somewhere else it might not be. So I went down to Home Depot and I picked up little adjustable furniture feet. These are like $4 for 4 of them, and you drill a hole and you push a little plastic insert in, and then you have little adjustable feet, just like are on the back of this. Right, these here. So instead of trying to router out little feet, I'm going to just put in little adjustable feet on the bottom of my 2x4. It'll be this wide, which that board's already cut. And I am going to remove all this extra material out of here to lighten it up and to kind of give it a neater look. The other thing I did when I was screwing around with this one is I removed a bunch of material from the bottom trying to make these feet. And I realized that wasn't the best idea. What I should have done was actually remove that excess material off the top and left the center higher because of how the feet engage on the slider. This will all make sense as I work through the build. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and start working this 2x4, relieving a bunch of it and leaving a piece in the middle, and so because I was trying to use bolts for spacers on this one, and I ended up cracking this out and putting screws through the side, and it didn't really work as well as I had hoped because I was in a rush, and I thought, you know what, screw it, it's not going to matter. But you know, sometimes it just makes sense to do it again when you mess it up, and you might come up with a better way to do it, which is what happened here. So I'm going to use this as a kind of a guide, as a rough template. I'm going to change how I do the feet. I'm going to change how it mounts in the middle. And because this camera slider, not including the head is I want to say it was $59.99, so $60 for this little head, and this lower slider was $89.99, so $90. So this is sort of pricey, right? And I don't want this thing to be unstable or have a problem if I use it out on the ground or on a table or who knows. Somewhere where it might be unstable, I don't want it to be unstable. So adjustable feet are in the works. The wood in the middle will be raised up to support the bottom. I have a little textured black spray paint that I'll use to finish it off when I'm done. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a base for the camera slider so that it will basically, if it were to mount right in the middle here, I'll kind of try and hold it, it would slide both ways, back and forth. And I realize that this will be permanently, well, semi-permanently attached to this, which will make it slightly larger, and it kind of defeats the purpose of it being smaller, but it only has one screw that attaches it to the slider itself, and I can always undo that if I wanted to take this and travel somewhere with it, but I suspect that I'll end up using this here in my shop more than anywhere else. So having it mounted to this 2x4, which isn't very big, is probably going to suit my purposes just fine. There will be a quick attach head on the top of this, one of these, for my camera, so that I can quick attach my camera on and off of this, because if it's not easy and convenient to use, I don't use it, right? That's as most people. So I need to make it easy and convenient to use, and that's what I'm working on here. So hopefully we'll get this thing all done up and painted and in working order, in short order, so that you guys can get some better camera shots. So yeah, let me put all this stuff away and we'll start working that 2x4. So this one I relieved a lot more on, this big open area. And this was gonna sit like this. This one I only relieved these holes out of, more for aesthetics than anything else. And I have this humped area here, which the camera slider will sit on. There'll be a bolt that comes through and bolts to the plate, and they'll slide back and forth, and the little feet will be on each end. And we'll paint it black. And sand it a little bit here because I got some rough edge from the router. Little sanding, little painting, good to go. So I have the bolt that goes through the middle here, and also the here. I suspect the back of this package tells me what size I need to drill the hole. Directions: drill a centered 3/16 inch diameter starter hole. Determine if your furniture leg is made of softwood or hardwood. For softwood, drill a 23/64 inch diameter hole. So we're just gonna go with softwood and 23/64. Probably have one of this. And drill some holes. Yeah, it said drill a pilot hole, and I might regret this, but we'll find out later. Get this thing centered up. What is it, 1 3/4, so it's here. And then I'll put my slider over. And just slide it that little hole. Okay. So there's the rough out for the camera slider. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some sandpaper and knock all these edges off and put a coat of paint on it. And I will probably bring you guys back tomorrow because it's getting late and cold once the paint's dry. So I'm out here finishing up the camera slider mount. I've got the camera slider here in the mount, and I've got these little adjustable feet for furniture. So I painted this thing up. It was just some black spray paint I used. And we're going to put those little adjustable feet in, and then we'll attach the camera mount to it. And I have a couple of adapter plates in the mail that will be in a couple of days that will make it so I can quickly attach my camera to this. I was really hoping that these holes would be the right size. I don't know, it seems like they are. Okay, so there's the 4 adjustable feet. Make sure it's level. I think that I'm going to have to use my grinder and trim off these pieces of halter that we'll see here in a second. I don't need that much adjustment anyway, so it's not a big deal. So, I'm going to lock it. It should. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it slides back and forth, no problem. But the feet down here, I'll either have to leave them out a little bit, which might be okay for what I'm doing. But the feet will allow me to compensate for any uneven surfaces I set this thing on. I'll snug that bolt up a little bit more a little later, but there's the mount for the camera slider, nice and stable, moves back and forth perfectly. So I'll get my plates from Amazon here in the mail in a couple days, and I'll be able to mount my camera to this and do some better slide pan shots. So that's pretty much it.